And welcome back. Oh, welcome back, everyone. Welcome. It's been quite some time to another edition of Sentimiento Latino, number 121. I'm, of course, your host, LightVIP, and later on in the evening, I'll be joined by Ducklings, El Padrino himself. But before that, again, welcome everyone. It's been a while, and oh my god, this week's Sentimiento Latino looks so good. Wait, let's get into it. Exclamation mark be in the chat. Hold on. Just letting the players know. Be in the chat if you want to have a look at the bracket. The bracket is so stacked. We have so many returning players. Let's go. Oh my god, if I quickly hop on over. We have Infanson. After a hiatus, he's back. He was kind of the up-and-coming player of last year, especially the second half of last year. Of course, we have Roro coming back. Kaozfate. Every single week, Kaozfate signs up, but he doesn't check in. I'm like, mate, what's going on? Like, where is Kaozfate? Where are the Terrans? We've needed Terrans desperately every single week. Some kind of Terran representation. I mean, sometimes we had Tavo. You know, Tavo's a great player. But it's great to see his master Kaozfate slip in as well, or sign up and check in as well. On top of all that, we have our regulars, but we have some other returning players. Egg, the Argentinian player, is back after a 3-month hiatus, and also someone who was on a 3-month hiatus. Eggs, the Colombian Zerg player, one of the best Zergs in the entire region. He was the rising star of 2020. Like, that was his year. He was so good. He was beating Cham. Oh my god. And now, after a hiatus, after a break of playing League of Legends, all these guys are coming back, and now we have our very first series of the day spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of 2,000 atmospheres LE. We have the Argentinian Zerg representing Furious Gaming. It is Egg. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of 2,000 atmospheres LE, we have our Peruvian Terran player representing Eximius Gaming. It is Kaozfate. I almost said Protoss. I'm not gonna lie, it's odd introducing a non-Protoss player to Eximius Gaming. For a long time, it felt like years. It probably wasn't years, but for a very long time, Kaozfate was on Unidos por el Vicio. Unidos was the Peruvian team. They had Zion, Stavo, and Kaozfate. They had all the best Peruvian players, other than, of course, the ones that we have, the CranKy Ducklings. But they had the rest. But yeah, though, I guess there was like a change of hands a couple of months ago, and Kaozfate did find a new home with Eximius Gaming, who for a long time was a Brazilian-only team. So yeah, I'm excited to see how the teams support each other and what they're going to bring to the table and all this stuff. And I'm curious to see what shape Kaozfate is in, because for a couple of months, he was MIA. I say a couple of months, like since December last year. He was kind of on a break. He was on holiday. He wasn't playing the game. So where is he right now? Because for a long time, I would argue that Kaozfate is maybe the best Terran player in Latin America outside of Kelazar and Special. Which is high praise. Like, he's a great Terran player. He's been doing so well. He was so close to qualifying for DreamHack last year. There's a little bit of controversy around that. Long-time viewers recognize Kaozfate as El Borracho. He's the player who, for a lot of important tournaments, he gets drunk the night before, and then he plays with a hangover. That happened for Desafiantes. That happened for the DreamHack closed qualifiers. We were like, every single time we're like, mate, what are you doing? He's a young kid. He's like 18, 19 years old. And yeah, he would just go out and party all night, and then in the morning he would have an important tournament and he would just flop. And it's like, what's going on? Like, he's playing so bad right now. And it's like, we know what happened. We know exactly what happened. So, shaking my head, Kaozfate, you know, he doesn't have his priorities where he should have them. Yoda and we dubbed him Baby Bjorn for a while because of like how good his splits and his biocontrol was. But again, he hasn't really been able to break out into that international scene, despite how good he is, unfortunately. But maybe this is his year. We'll see. That's also why I wanted to cast him, because, you know, it's like, hey, he's a great player. It's great to see him back after so long. You know, how does he compare to someone like Egg, who has also been on a bit of a hiatus? Egg, he's one of the older players in the region. He is the best player from Argentina. Unfortunately, there just aren't many players from Argentina. But he's still a great player. You know, of course, he's GM. He's a veteran of the scene. Oh boy. So there's like a dichotomy going on here where we've got like a 30-year-old Zerg player up against an 18-year-old Terran, right? Like, let's go. Oh god. If you want, you can check Wikipedia for exact ages. Like Egg, I think he's 30, something like that. Hold on. You know what? Let's look it up. As we do see a pretty standard 1-1-1 opening into a faster TC from Kaozfate, so a very standard macro opening. Sure, he's got a handful of Hellions, but this is just to stop any kind of creep spread, just to keep it from getting out of control. But ooh, he is going for a Liberator behind this, so maybe looking for some multi-prong, go with the Lib into the main base, and then with the Hellions into the third or something like that. But this all does kind of get scattered as well, so Egg should be getting ready at home. I mean, because he saw the third CC, like, he should be like, okay, look, I'm free to throw down my Evo chambers. I'm free to maybe even get a faster fourth base. And as I say it, there we go. Double Evo chamber thrown down here for double upgrades. Like, he knows that he has the freedom to do so. Hellions trying to dip in, but again, like, Egg, he's on point. He's solid. He knows what he's doing. And I just checked. Oh my god, Egg doesn't have his birthday on Wikipedia. He's... Oh my god. I should work on that. His Wikipedia is surprisingly empty when it comes to his date of birth. He's trying to keep it hidden. Oh god. Meanwhile, the Lib is on the way. Again, like, ideally, if you want this Liberator to deal damage, you try and distract your opponent with something else, like these Hellions, so that hopefully one of these two things deals damage. Again, so far doing a really good job at keeping all these queens busy and keeping the creep in check. Meanwhile, Liberator dips in. Oh no, Spore! Ay ay ay! And again, the queens are completely out of position, so drones are getting just mowed down, and a lot of lost mining time. These queens are got to make a choice. Of course, you got to make sure you're here for the Hellions. At the same time, okay, Viking dives in deep and actually gets an Overlord. Oh my god! More damage than I thought would happen. Hellions keep on clearing up the creep. The Liberator still hasn't been dealt with? Oh my god. It's not an insane amount of damage, but it's pretty good. Like, all the creep that was here in the center and on the right hand side was dealt with. Liberator finally, oh my, still not dealt with. It's still alive. 4 kills. Jesus Christ, and now he gets into a mineral line! Oh my god, it took so long! Like, this harassment lasted like almost 2 minutes, and just over time, the attention of Eggs was just completely pulled apart. 11 plus drones go down. Well worth it. 100% worth it. Sure, all the Terran units get cleaned up. Sure, like the Liberator and the Hellions, but again, the trade was just so good. And Kaozfate? Now he's ready to push out. Stim is done. 1-1, about to finish up as well. Kaozfate missed his timing a little bit. Ideally, you want to already be across the map, and then 1-1 finishes, and bam! You know, you're pushing in. And he probably could have killed his opponent. Like, Egg doesn't have any Banelings ready. He's got a handful of Lings and some Queens, and that's it. Baneling speed is on the way. He does have 1-1 himself, which is great. But again, like, he is not ready to deal with this at all. Baneling's only just now morphing in. Uh-oh. This could just be it. Like, again, with all the aggression from Kaozfate with the follow-up push, like, it's just clinical Terran play. Banelings do finish up in time. No Baneling speed, though. They're going to try and waddle on forward, but the third base goes down. Ay, ay, ay. Feels bad, man. And this is just kind of it. Thankfully, Egg does have a fourth base, or he did have a fourth base. Now it's his third. And he was able to rotate his drones over. And thankfully, he didn't lose too many in this push. But again, Kaozfate just has so much momentum. Here comes the second wave, about to meet up with the first. What's our tank count looking like? There we go. We have another tank. And Egg desperately needs to defend against this. Thankfully, Bailing Speed is going to be ready for this next push. Again, if Kaozfate had pushed earlier, maybe he could have just straight up ended the game, but here Egg has a chance. Oh boy, it's going to be all about the splits. It's going to be all about these Bailing connections. Oh boy, the creep here is just non-existent. Egg realizes, but it's a little bit too late. Finally, he's starting to spread creep, but the queen's getting picked off. The tank siege is up. The pre-split is looking good. And there's just not enough Ling Bane. Where's the rest of it? Finally, it's coming down from the main base. Oh, tank is looking exposed, so Lings are going to dive immediately on it. Kaozfate slipping up a little bit there. We see the drop going all the way into the main. There's a the Liberator's back! It never got... Okay, that's a different Lib. Different Ling comes in. We do have the full-on Doom drop into the main base. Every single Ling gets dealt with. Lings against Marines, you never want to see. You need Banelings, otherwise the Marines just trade too well, and they just keep trading. They're not done. Finally, the Banelings roll in. The target fire. Oh my god. Finally, he forces a pickup, but behind this, Kaozfate, he's fully saturated on 4 bases. He's getting a 5th base up and running. 2-2 is about to finish up. That's the big advantage that Egg had. Egg already has 2-2, so, I mean, he does have a bit of an upgrade advantage, but where is the Hive? Where's the Infestation Pit? He doesn't have it. He has a Hydra Den. Where's the Lurker Den? Finally, Lurker Den gets thrown down, and that is a comeback mechanic. Lurkers trade so well against Bio. They're really difficult to push into. But Egg doesn't have any ready right now, and he needs them desperately. Ay. And Kaozfate, he just doesn't let up. G gets called! And Kaozfate takes game number 1. Oh my god. Jesus. And this is why I wanted to cast Kaozfate. We saw him in complete control that game, and Egg was struggling to keep up. He was keeping up, like he was, defending. He was, for the most part, keeping his workers alive. But like, again, the multitasking of Kaozfate is really what came into play there, and is really what shone. I hope everyone was able to see that, right? Like, there's a reason why we praise him so much here. There's also a reason why we're so disappointed when he goes out to drink. God damn it, Kaozfate. He's such a good player. Oh, God. I'm catching up in the chat. Hola, Tavo. Sí, hola, Tavo. Tavo, are you in the brackets? He is. Nice. So, Tavo, he is another Peruvian Terran player. Hopefully, we get to see him later on. It looks like he has a pretty clear road to the quarterfinals, where he will most likely face the Zerg Lord, so it's going to be a pretty tough TVZ, but we wish the best to Tavito. I see people are already getting confused. Eggs is Colombian? Yes. Eggs with a Z is Colombian. Egg, just egg, without anything at the end, is Argentinian, from Argentina. So 2 different eggs in Latin America. Egg is actually an ancient creature. He's a duck egg. No, not yet. Not yet. The CranKy Ducklings don't have an egg yet. One day. Eggs, Chaos is so fast, Pog. Yeah, he's an incredibly quick player, or again, he can be a quick player. We'll see if Egg approaches this a little bit differently. We're going to be loading into Berlingrad, a much smaller map, and honestly, as great as Kaozfate is, I've seen him crumble to Roach all-ins, for example. Like, he's great against Ling Bane, getting into, Biotech, eventually into Widowmine. He's a great player. But when it comes to certain all-ins, whether it's a Roach all-in or even a Ling Bane bust, like early aggression like that, he can crumble. I've seen players like Jim Rising take advantage of that and go for these like Roach timings on 2 bases. And on a map like this, Roaches aren't that bad, to be honest. But we'll see as we spawn in to game number 2 of this best of 3 series. And spawning in the top left hand corner of Berlingrad LE, we have our Argentinian Zerg player representing Furious Gaming. It is Egg. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Berlingrad LE, we have our Peruvian Terran player, already up 1-0 in this best of 3 series, representing Eximius Gaming. It is Kaozfate. Oh, I just realized I have to change. I think I still have a Yaku's image on my right. I have to change that. I'll change that later. It's all good. It's all good. Oh god. But yes. Davo is probably going to go up against the Zerglord later on, so hopefully he does well. It's going to be rough. Maybe we'll be able to cast it. Maybe. We'll see. The winner of this series, I believe, will go up against Ryu. It isn't 100% confirmed, but Ryu is the better player between himself and Adez and Neo Shaggy, so ideally we follow them into that, into one of our CranKy Ducklings. That is the plan at the moment. Oh. As we get into this, so far the openers are pretty standard. You know, we have our CCs at home, our Raxes are at home as well. No proxies. And Egg isn't really looking for proxies anyways, so I mean, he has nothing to worry about for the time being. Oh, so first Reaper is going across the map. Meanwhile, Egg, again, didn't really do anything too fancy either. It looks like he's not going to be skipping Ling's speed. Has he even pulled out of gas? But Ling's speed is looking a little bit late. Interesting. Huh. Very interesting. Reaper is going to dip in, and Kaozfate. Okay, never mind. I was like, "Yo, is this intentional?" No, Egg is still working on his ink speed. All good. All is well. Kind of interesting that he pulled out of gas earlier, though, like delaying it a little bit. I'm sure there's a reason for it. I'm sure there is, but yeah, interesting nonetheless. So far, everything is normal. I was thinking like, yo, maybe if he like pulls out and maybe if he delays it, maybe he's gonna go for a Roach Warren faster, but no, everything is looking pretty normal so far. Oh boy. And right now I'm giving my energy to Egg. Like even though I'm a Kaozfate fan, like I want this to go to the ace match. I want this to be a series. Egg is playing this very safe. Oh, as we are getting a bit of a pause. Oh. Hopefully everything is okay, and this will give me an opportunity to actually there we go, beautiful. Actually fix that up. There we go. I'm joined by my lovely plushies and duck. Oh no, my duck. Hold on, there we go. You can't really see it. It's blending into the green screen, even though the duck is yellow. Question mark. I don't know. But yeah, hopefully everything is okay. Interesting. Like, unlike Shelby, like Kaozfate isn't tending to a store or anything like that. So yeah, maybe someone's at the door. Maybe he got some Uber Eats. Maybe he got some food. Or maybe there's some internet issues. We all know how unstable and unreliable Latin American internet can be sometimes. But thankfully the pause was in the start of the game and there's like nothing really going on. Like there's no like intense micro interactions or anything like that. It's not like in a pivotal fight or anything. It's still in the early game when things are still developing. So it's all good. It's all good. Oh.
Game resumed.
Oh, okay, we're good. I just did a countdown for the players. I was just reading, my name is Gustavo, but in StarCraft I'm just Davo. I mean, I like the name Davo, but that's also very uncreative. God damn it. Shaking my head, Davo, shaking my head. Oh. But I was just about to speak about how Egg is playing pretty safe here. He's working on pneumatized carapace. He's working on overlord speed, so he dips in, gets a full scout of what his opponent is doing. So yeah, playing this very safe. Obviously confirms that it's just like game number 1. You know, 1-1-1 into a faster TC. Vikings coming out. I imagine a Liberator will come out after that. So nothing crazy. There's no 2-on-1. There's no BC opener or hidden armory or anything like that. Egg just playing safe. Doesn't want to die to anything crazy. But yeah, we'll see if he still goes for that Liberator here after the Viking. Like, he still has his six Hellions out on the map, and there it is. So it's just like game number 1, the exact same build. And I mean, there's no reason to change it. It's pretty solid, all things considered. Obviously, there's nothing fancy with it. It's just pretty normal, and it allows you to make use of your multitasking and your micro and your ability to out-task your opponent. Pretty good. This is one of the builds that Yaku does as well, except Yaku YOLOs his Hellions and loses them all. So there's a little bit of a difference there between the two players. Shaking my head, Yaku, shaking my head. But just like last game, Egg, upon seeing the opener, he should be throwing down some Evo chambers. Like, it's like, yo, my opponent's already getting a 3rd TC. Eventually, he's going to be getting into his NG bays. Or he already has them. Like, you can't fall too far behind with your own upgrades. And these Evo chambers are a little bit late, not going to lie. Just finished the Olympics opening and now back to LatAm SC. Oh, thank you, Fernando. Thank you. There's something wrong because I actually didn't hear your notification. Your notification actually didn't show up. But thank you for the sub. Thank you, Fernando. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. Thank you. 16 months in a row. Oh, that's a lot of months. And you know what? Just for you, Fernando, Paco Mike is here. Paco Mike is actually competing in today's tournament. So I'm sure we'll get some Paquito later on. Your white headphone is being caught by the chroma as well, KW, true. Also, welcome the Zerg Lord, welcome. Yo, both Davo and the Zerg Lord are here. Oh my god. Let's go. This is interesting. So, of course, 1-1 is on the way. I was about to say that the armory is about to finish up as well. Like, big brain play. Kaozfate actually incorporates that and actually morphs in some Hellbats. But we'll see. He's already pushing deep into creep. He's already headed towards that 3rd base. This time, his Hellions didn't deal anywhere near as much damage as the last game. Oh, a little bit of awkward pathing with this tank, but it's okay. The Queens were also awkward as well. Oh, god, no, the Queens! 2 Queens get sniped immediately. Bailing speed is still on the way, but that's a lot of Banes. I feel like Egg should be fine. Like, yeah. Even if we have a bunch of Hellbats, I don't know. There's just far too much here. Yo, finally I got the notification. Oh my god, that's so late. What? But yes, thank you, Fernando. Meanwhile, here we go. The slow Banes are trying to roll on in, but they're slow. Oh god, they do crash into the Hellbats, but that's what the Hellbats were made for. We have a bit of a wraparound, but the target fire is still just so good. The Bailey's gonna, again, it will take it out. Oh god, there's only 1 Bailing left. Mate, Egg knows he cannot hold. He pulls all the workers back. He's trying to connect, and again, the final Bailing gets targeted down. Bailing speed finally finishes, but there are no Bailings. It's a little bit too late for that. He pulled the trigger a little bit too early. The Queens are all on their own, and the army, it can just stim on forward. There's nothing to stop them. We have 1 Bailing in production. Okay, we have a couple more. But these pushes can be so brutal from the Terran player, especially on Berlingrad. Kaozfate, if he wanted to, he could have pushed up this ramp and won the game, but he's playing safer. He's going to rotate around to the other third base and just keep egg on 2 bases. Ay, ay, ay. Here we go. Bathing speed is done. The Bathings are finally going to get some connections. But the splits are still too good. GG gets called, and Kaozfate will take the series 2-0. GG. Well played. Kaozfate does advance on in the bracket in a really dominant fashion. Like his pushes, his macro, as well as his control of his marines and splitting and target firing was all beautiful here, and it's scary as well. He has some of the best TVZ in the region. I think the only one to rival him, other than like Kellezer and Special, I feel like the only one to really rival him is maybe Terran, the Brazilian Terran player. He can also be quite good. But yeah, he is scary. He is terrifying in this matchup. Oh. And yeah, with that, he moves on to the quarterfinals.